Hi Cancer, welcome to your end of September 2018 tarot update. It's Raina here, shuffling the cards in my humble way. I think that's the third time I've gotten that card in that position. It's kind of funny. Wow, the cardinal signs have gotten a lot of major arcana cards. In your case, you've gotten 3. And I was thinking, why is it? What is going on? But you know, now I can kind of see, because we have an equinox on the 22nd, and that's in Libra, and that's the equinox times are cardinal times. You know, Cancer, the mid, well, in, I was going to say midsummer, but I meant the solstice. The 2 solstices, winter and summer, are Cancer and Capricorn, and now we have the Libra equinox, and then we have the one in March, and that's Aries. So they're all cardinal signs. So cardinal signs are really about action, you know, about taking action. So maybe that's what's going on here, that you're activated by the equinox or something. Heart of the matter is the 8 of Wands, so that's the sense of things starting to rock and roll, things starting to move. Maybe you felt like there was a bit of a lull in the action, and now everything is kind of flying at you. Again, you know, I keep going back to you having a solar eclipse on July 12th. I'm recording this a little bit over 2 months later, on September 17th. The after effect of a solar eclipse, some astrologers I've heard have said 6 months, you know, from one eclipse to the next. Now, whether that's, then I heard 40 days, okay? So, whatever. I mean, I kind of like err on the side of sooner rather than later. Like, in other words, more immediate effects, only because I'm thinking in terms of what a regular new moon or full moon would do. And so it seems to me that I don't necessarily believe that 3 months later you're going to have new developments, but the seeds get planted and they start to, you know, blossom along the way. So that might be what's happening. And for all of us, really, this is also true because of the retrogrades that we've had to deal with. You know, I could see if the 8 of Wands was reversed, that would be kind of like a retrograde period where you can't get going, you know, where things can't develop. But now they are. And then we look down here at the base, Wheel of Fortune. So that could refer to that solar eclipse of that being a new cycle for you. But I'm also thinking that this is kind of a preview of the North Node going into Cancer. And that's very important for you, Cancer, because the North Node transit is a time of destiny. And destiny, I don't know how you feel about that word, but that sends shivers of anticipation up my spine in terms of possibilities. But it's the fact that it's destiny is even more exciting because it's meant to be. Now, obviously, you can say that there are negative things that might be meant to be. Maybe as a Sagittarian, I'm just looking at the glass half full. But I do, it's the North Node, so I do think it's not about karma. It's more about opportunities that await you. And this is going to be on November 7th, I believe it goes into your sign. I think it's about November 7th. So this may be, you know, I don't get too caught up in timing. I'm just looking at the bigger picture here. What is crossing you is the Seven of Swords. This can be a card of deception and some kind of, you know, cheating, like in a marriage, or stealing, physical theft, maybe even intellectual property. That is holding things up. Okay, so I would say that maybe some of you have been waiting for your twin flame soulmate. I mean, I hear this so much, so this is why I incorporate this in my readings, because I read and watch so many videos and all that stuff, so I never know a lot of times where I've heard or saw something. But something that about twin flames I heard about recently, I think it might have been a video, but they were saying like that it's happening more now. I can't remember the reason though. I don't know if it has something to do with ascension or anything like that. Maybe it's just the unfoldment, the karmic unfoldment of us as a people, you know, as human beings, is that we are at a time in our spiritual evolution where this is important, that we reunite with those who we consider our soulmates and twin flames. And I think on a more mundane level, because I'm seeing this card here, the Hierophant, and that's about tradition and marriage. I think that people, you know, we talk a lot about the fiber, the moral fiber of society kind of disintegrating. And I think of Cancer as a pretty traditional sign. But a lot of times people can look at tradition as being very time sensitive. That a lot of the things that, you know, we have done as a human race might have been done to preserve society at a certain juncture, but now are no longer needed and effective. Okay, so whether you want to say we've outgrown it or it just doesn't apply to us anymore, this is how I would like you to at least kind of consider whatever is going on with your life. Because if you are in a marriage with somebody and perhaps you have experienced this, where they have betrayed you, they have deceived you, you may have stayed there out of this sense of obligation, tradition, the children, what have you, and now you're ready to claim your good. I mean, I think that this is claiming your good. One thing too, because I was talking about the North Node and your destiny and something good, and I said destiny can be negative. I really meant like, you know, maybe some kind of karmic situation, which is not punishment, but merely, you know, cause and effect, or just your need to see something in order to have a better understanding of what it all entails. So, you know, from one lifetime to another, and things like that. Now, the South Node is karma, okay, your karmic past. Guess what sign, you know, it's your opposite sign. So it's going to be in Capricorn, the South Node. Well, guess what other entities are transiting in Capricorn? Pluto for 10 years. Saturn since last year. So there's still, you know, you're going to have to really, I think you're going to have to really be spiritually on point, Cancer. I don't think you have any room for error, because with Saturn, that's the Lord of Karma in the karmic, you know, in conjunction with the South Node. Don't even try it. Just be above board. And you will succeed. And because I was actually, I think even like with a transit with Saturn in conjunction with your sun, or there was some other entity, and they said you have to be impeccable. You know, you cannot do anything that is underhanded, because you will really just get socked with something, you know, right off the bat. So very interesting. So the higher message is the Empress. And this is a card that's connected to Taurus and Libra through the planet Venus. It's actually associated with the planet Venus. This is a spiritual message. So going back to what I was saying, maybe there's somebody that you have been waiting for many years, and finally things are opening up. This is alignment with your good fortune. And you know, and the Wheel of Fortune is also cycles. So sometimes we are really in a period of like great transformation, but also great like good things happening, you know, on a regular basis, and that always feels really good. Well, the Empress is about love, but it's also about motherhood. So as a spiritual message, it could be suggesting to you, if you're looking for a partner because you want to become a mother, and you really feel, you know, Cancer is a sign of the mother, and you really feel that that's your destiny, then it's important to choose wisely, which kind of goes without saying. The more mundane message, we have the Nine of Pentacles, and this is a card of, you know, financial independence. And so this could relate to any kind of, you know, even if you're trying to do your own thing and maybe you're afraid of that your boss will find out that you have a side gig. This is suggesting that you have enough money to do so, and things of that nature. So I didn't mention that, and this could even be with some kind of a creative thing that's going on. And then we have, as what is coming in, the Hierophant, and this is associated with Taurus. So I don't know if this is somebody that you're in love with, or if this is talking about, you know, like an organization. If you work in a corporate environment, or maybe that's what you've been longing to do, and this is finally coming to pass. Maybe this is something that you have interviewed for, and you've been waiting and waiting, and now you get to work in that environment. It can also be something spiritual, that you are studying a spiritual topic or under a spiritual teacher. As I said, Taurus may feature into this if it's a person, but this is a card of marriage too. So for some reason, I'm seeing this with this card. I'm seeing like infidelity maybe, and maybe before you tolerated it, now you feel like you don't have to. It's funny though, this almost seems like choosing tradition, choosing to maybe save a relationship, and or the person that you feel is your twin flame is a Taurus. And the outcome is the Page of Cups, and this is a card of being very, you know, sometimes it can be gullibility, naivete, but this, I think of this as a card of really having an open heart, you know, to somebody. And it's like, it's almost like maybe this is like a feeling of suspicion, like you really were afraid of getting cheated on before. I mean, you have been, and now you're kind of like trusting again. Maybe because you've met somebody that makes you feel safe and you can trust. And so that can be a very nice feeling. And also in terms of anything financial, it's like you're trusting the universe maybe, and you're not fearing. Sometimes Cancers are very like worrywarts, and they're like, what's going to happen, you know? And maybe you're just like, you have faith because you know that you're in a good place right now. Okay, that's what I have for you, Cancer. I hope you enjoyed this. And if you'd like a private reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.